Today's episode is brought to you by Honey. Honey's going to save you money when you shop online. Now let's jump into this podcast.
Hello, everybody. It's time for Goers and Crendor.
Goers and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studios. Recording.
Wake your ass up, it's the Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a episode of Cox and Crendor in the morning.
It's exciting time.
It felt like a song was starting there, and then it just didn't go anywhere. And then you stopped, and it was like when, sometimes there's a song going on, but the person singing the song can't sing, and so they just sort of like rap talk it.
Rap talk it.
Like sometimes celebrities get wrangled into doing a song, and then, someone's singing like, I'm singing a song, and then the next person goes like, I too am singing this song.
No.
Well, the audience knows what I'm talking about, and if they don't, you're all stupid, and I don't like you.
Well, that's a good way to open up the show. How's it going, everybody?
Yep.
You're back.
I am back. Yeah, look at this. Look at me. I'm back.
What happened in your travels? I mean, the last time I heard anything was a week ago, and you had all your crazy stories, and then you just got to England.
Yeah, I mean, England was England. I went around and drank quite a bit, and had a bunch of ham and cheese toasties, and went to this very lovely coffee spot that I absolutely know you would enjoy tremendously. It's Danish. And so I couldn't even pronounce it if I wanted to, but all the bread and treats were delicious, and the coffee's great, and everyone there is a treat. Just good times had by all. Went and got Thai food at this place that I've never been so sick in my entire life, dude. It's a very fancy restaurant, right? And right. I get my usual Thai order, which is like a spicy basil chicken kind of thing. Except they added ginger to it. And not just like a little bit of ginger, but like full-on chunks of ginger. Big old hunkin' chunks of ginger.
I love that.
No. It was like the root, dude. I don't know how to describe this to you. Like a full-on circular chunk.
Oh, like a big old ginger slice.
Yes. Not like
I see.
A little bit. So I'm sitting there chewing, and it was so awful tasting. And I didn't want to spit it out because it's a fancy restaurant. So I just sat there chewing it and chewing it and chewing it, and finally swallowed, and I felt sick for like 2 days.
Oh, God. You probably just ate old ginger or something.
Probably. It was terrible. So yeah, the food was my normal British experience. Got Nando's one day, and that was fine. But otherwise, your normal British experience. Went around, met some friends, hung out, drank a little, did all that stuff. Went and saw a play. Very proud of myself. I love plays, but this time I went and saw one that I'd heard of but never really went to go see, and figured, screw it, I'll go. It's called 222, and I'll give you the premise.
Okay.
It is a horror story play where a man and a woman live together with their newborn child, and every night at 2:22 for the last few days, someone has been in the child's room, and the wife hears footsteps, but the husband has been out of town, and he gets back as the play starts, and she's losing her mind that someone's in the child's room. And meanwhile, two of their friends come over, and they hear this story, and the husband doesn't believe the wife because he's like a scientist, and he's like, there's got to be a reasonable explanation. And the wife's like, I was in the room. I heard the footsteps. It wasn't just the baby monitor. I was in the room with the baby, and I heard them. And so the friends are like, well, we got to stay up all night long and see if this pays off. And so that's the premise of the play. It's them, and there's like jump scares and shit, dude. It was wild. It was a wild play. I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, but like the best part is as a person who plays horror games, pretty unfazed. But being in a crowd of people who clearly don't was a joy. I sat next to 3, I'm going to say 20-something women, all with glasses of wine, all just terrified the entire time. Big mood. I love the whole thing. I was like, people watching was incredible.
I didn't even know they did like horror plays and stuff.
Neither did I, my man. Neither did I, which is why I always was like, oh, that's on my radar. I'd go see that. Usually I'm into more like comedy plays or murder mystery plays where like who done it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, a horror one, I was like, yo, I'm totally into the vibe. It has legit jump scares, everything from like effects to noises to all sorts of stuff. Super interesting.
What was like the jump scare style without spoiling it? Is it just like some guy like jumping out like, got you?
No.
Like goes back?
No. It's not a guy jumping. It's the use of like special effects and sound and noise and lights and things like that.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's like ambient types of jump scares almost.
I mean it's like jump scare. Like it is loud. It's like a jump scare.
I see. So it actually is just they crank it up. So it's just like
I mean, but it isn't like a dude being like, whoa, gotcha. Like, they aren't jump scaring the people in the show. They're jump scaring the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it'd be dumb if some guy, like, popped out of a wall, like, gotcha, and people on stage went, whoa. Like, that'd be stupid.
Just imagine. There's, like, people, like, walking up and down the aisles, like, the people, like, here's your seat or whatever, and one of them's just like, and he just screams out, and he's like, gotcha.
Honestly, there was one point where, and this is, by the way, I want to talk about the movie theaters, but just in general, there was one point where someone in the theater turned on their light and on their phone, and I thought it was a jump scare coming, because all of a sudden a light appeared behind me, and I was like, oh, something's happening. Nothing. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that.
You're like on edge at that point. They got you.
I mean, I was. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I wasn't like scared, but once I knew there were jump scares involved, I was like, oh, I gotta brace myself.
You still didn't have that guy just pop out and be like, gotcha.
No, there was no guy.
I really
who
just
said
want that guy. I just want the guy who's just his entire thing for the play. They're like, you're gonna be the guy that jumps out constantly and says, gotcha. And he just works so hard at it.
I hate that. There's a play where a guy goes, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. No,
he just shows up at like different parts of the theater. Like he just pops out at like the aisle or like the up in the balcony.
I mean, it would work. Yeah. That just sounds like DavidHasPumpkins.
I don't know what that is.
You what? Oh
David
my
has
God.
Pumpkins?
Take the time when we're done to look up David_Pumpkins.
Oh, David S. Pumpkin. I thought you said David has pumpkins. I'm like, how many has he got?
DavidHasPumpkins sounds like an early 2010 YouTube video that is one of those like weird, is it real, is it not kind of horror things that exist on the internet. DavidHasPumpkins.com. And it's just a series of videos that leads to like Slender Man.
Oh, it's a Saturday Night Live skit. Okay.
Yeah, with Tom Hanks.
Oh, I did not know that.
It is pretty much exactly what you're talking about.
All right, I'll check that. I'll leave the tab open so I remember.
Yeah. But speaking of just the worst experience, the new Mission Impossible movie came out, and I was like, yo, I gotta see that. I loved the last one. I gotta see it. I'm in London. It's out. I'm gonna go see it at the big, huge central London theater. Let's go. I don't know what it is, but every time I see a movie in London, this has never happened anywhere else in the world. I've seen movies all over the world. I saw a movie in Australia, saw a movie in Poland, saw a movie in Amsterdam. I've seen movies all over the United States. I've seen movies in Canada, not in South America, but everywhere that I've traveled, that I've seen a movie, just normal ass movie audiences. They might cheer, they might applaud, whatever. When I'm in London, people have their phones out the entire movie. People are having legit full-ass conversations the entire time. When saw this movie, thank God the theater was very, very, very loud because it was one of those like state-of-the-art mega theaters. But maybe 3 rows behind me were 4 dudes the entire time having a conversation. Just like, bro, hold on. And their phones would go off and they'd answer phone calls. And I was like, what the... Is there no rules here? What's the law? I've never experienced this It happened in this movie, and then when myself, Alex, and Davis saw John Wick, and when we were in that, a dude in a row in front of us had his phone out and was playing games the entire time.
So this is like, it's not just a one-time thing. This is like happened multiple times.
Every time I see a movie in the UK, every single time this happens. And I don't understand. That's a lie. It's always been in London. So in London specifically.
I see.
I've never seen a movie in the UK outside of London. But like every time, and it's been different theaters, big theaters, small theaters, always the same. There's always 2 or 3 people who just do not abide the rules. And I'm like, why'd you come out to the movies then?
It's almost like they're using the movie theater as just like a place to just chill and like be like, oh, I'm gonna go on my phone at the movie or something.
It is outrageous to me that no one says anything to them either. The entire time I was like, all right, it's not my place. This isn't my town or my theater. Maybe I just wait for someone to say something. No one said anything. Everyone was just enjoying the movie. It was like the 4 of them were in their own zone, and then everyone else was focused on the movie, laughing and cheering and like, you know, watching. But then these 4 guys are just like, hey, bro, we're gonna get like a pack on the way home, and then oh, shut up, you know, and like yelling at the phone.
What
Some guy's talking to his girlfriend on like, you know, FaceTime. Crazy. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we're watching a movie. Yeah, we're seeing a movie right now.
That's what they were doing before. So we're in the previews for the coming movies. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just a British thing where they talk through the trailers because like trailers are unimportant. But when we get to the movie, they're going to shut up. No, we're in the trailers and they're like, just like you said, yeah, we're at the movies. No, I can't talk right now. I'm at the movies. I was like, hang up the phone. What's even crazier is I don't think I saw an advertisement or some sort of announcement at the beginning that said, please put your phone away. So maybe it's just a cultural thing. I don't know, dude. I have no clue.
We need people to tell us, like, is this a common thing or are you just really unlucky? Because that's also a possibility. You may have just been really unlucky twice.
It's very possible. But it's happened more than twice. Those are just my 2 recent examples that happened this year.
Yeah, that's maybe after COVID, people stopped caring about being polite at the movies or something.
But this is Britain. That's all they care about is politeness.
I don't know about that.
That's true. That's true.
You're just like Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, but look at him in the UK versus him in the United States. Oh, by the way, I spent so much time late at night watching British TV that I've gotten the British announcer voice down, and I want to say, what the hell's going on, UK? Why do all your British announcers sound like they are plugging their noses when they're announcing stuff? It's like, tune in for the world of imagination with Gordon Ramsay. Also later on watch the next series of Dr. House. Like, I don't know. It's thanks for tuning in to ITV. It's what it sounds like.
That does sound exactly like it. You're not even wrong. That's straight up just like,
thank you for talking to me on the television. And now we'll kick it over to Kitchen Nightmares.
Next up on CBG Beans, Ruff, Tweet and Dive. It's like, what? No one else talks like that. Is there just a certain cast of Brit who they're like, you are a future announcer? But father, I want to be a doctor. No, you will be an announcer, for you have the voice.
and then
It's weird.
They go to the studio. They're just like, and coming up next, like, no, you didn't plug your nose. They're just like, what? And he's like, yeah, you got to plug your nose. He's like, but I don't want to do it. It's like, no, you got to do it. Like, all right, well, coming up next. Like, all right, yeah, a little more. Like,
All right, coming up next.
Now really draw out your O sounds. Coming up next. On BBC Three. Wimbledon at Wimbledon. And you're just like, okay, all right, we gotta cut this out.
I will say, British House Hunters was phenomenal.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
one of my favorites.
I watched a British auction show that was on BBC at like noon. I woke up and put it on while I was taking a shower. You know how in the States, if it's an auction show, they find like the rarest treasures. This was, okay, you have 200 pounds, go buy some shit, and whoever has the most at the end wins when we sell it at auction. And the stuff they bought was like a 70-pound rattle that had a cat on it, or a brooch that was made of like fake gold, or a weird hair comb. One guy bought a table that was like particle board, and he was like, I think it's going to make a lot at auction. Both teams ended up losing money. And the announcer's just like, that's unfortunate for Team Blue. They've lost 40 pounds. And then the host and his two like side hosts at the end, they're like, well, you both lost money, and that is unfortunate. But as we always say, tip-top, bip-bop, and then they all kick the screen. I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Did they do anything where they like interview the contestants like The Office style?
Oh, they did. Yeah, where they put the two of them together. And what's funny is it was very clear the two women who were with the guy who bought the particle board table were like, why did he buy this? But they were just like, let it ride, screw it. Let the guy, like, we're on his team, let him do his thing. But it was very obvious they were just like, what the hell is this man? We're going to lose now because of this guy. He spent 100 pounds on like a shitty table. And he's like, we're going to make our money back. And it made like 30 pounds at auction or something. And they're like, you lost 70 pounds working with him. And they were like, cool. But because both of them lost, no one won. Like, it wasn't, this team lost the least. No one won anything. Like, the announcer was just like, unfortunately, both are on the negative pounds. And the announcer, the host is just like, well, that's unfortunate. We will have no winners this time. So a bippity boppity boo. Let's kettle do. And then he like does a dance. I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, that is straight up. That would never happen here. Somebody would have to win. They'd be like, we need a winner. It'd be like, this guy lost the most money, so they win. And then they'd be like, no, we lost the least money, so we win. They'd be like, all right, how about we just fight it out?
Yeah.
No, like,
there was no winners, only losers, and in the end, the host said words that were not real words, and then they all of them, the contestants and the three hosts combined, kicked at the screen, and then it fit like hard paused on their kick, and then it faded to black, and then it scrolled, and the announcer came over it like, that was Auctioneer Boxioneer, next up on BBC News Hour, and it's like, okay, cool.
What was that show called?
I honestly don't know. It was a BBC auction show. The problem is that it wasn't like they took these items they found to a real auction. It was an auction in the middle of nowhere where all the people, there was like 12 people at the auction. And it was like in a farmhouse. So I'm sure they could have made money if more people were there. But it was like, all right, going once for 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 20 pounds. Okay, 15 pounds. Do I say 15 pounds? It was embarrassing. I was like, oh boy.
Oh, is it called The Bidding Room?
Maybe. The premise is that they were given money, they had to go to a shop, buy stuff, and then auction it off.
This says, wait, this is a German show. This isn't.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah, no. What is it? But it says BBC One, The Bidding Room. But maybe I don't know. Somebody in the comments will know.
Auction show. I bet I could find it just by looking at the host.
Yeah.
Bargain Hunt
Nigel?
is the name of it.
Oh, Bargain Hunt.
24 seasons.
What? Oh my God. 2000 was the first one.
The best part is the opening theme is called Horny Baby.
What?
The theme song is called Horny Baby. And as of January 22nd, 2021, there have been 1,800 episodes.
Oh my God, that's open this and it was like, brrr, it's like, oh, I'm going back to the 1960s in my bubble car.
Yep. This is a thing, all right.
They're just always really polite and like, what's the word? Very like neutral, which is probably why they're like, everyone loses. Nobody cares. And it's just like, all right. It's Like, I remember on the House Hunters show I watched, like, normally over here, right, they're just like, oh, yeah. Wait, that would be a British one. Normally over here, they're just like, I got like $500,000, and then like, here's my husband. He's like, yeah, and I make like 250 grand, so we got like 750. We want like a house over here, and then they're just like, hey, this doesn't have a pool, and where's the what do you call it? The old the coffee. I was gonna say coffee shop. That wouldn't make sense. Where's the place? Okay, I know I'm like branching off for a third time on what I'm saying, but they always do the thing where they have buzzwords and they say them every episode. I'm convinced that the producers tell them to say it because they're always like, I can see myself like sitting here having coffee. Or they're like, yo, I can really see us enjoying our time on this patio and having a fire. I think
because they're not they don't have improv skills. So they give them little buzzwords, and people who don't have improv skills rely on that stuff rather than like come up with their own things to say. I think because I remember being young and people being like, say this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And rather than come up with your own thing, you literally just say exactly what people told you to say.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I guarantee they're just like, say, I see myself. Because that's like they're just like, I see myself having coffee. I see myself. I see, they're saying like, I see whatever. But when I watch the British one, it's just like, there's a good garden. It's good here. It's got flowers. I like it. And they're like, yeah, I like it too. And he's like, all right. And they just like move on.
Meanwhile, Gogglebox, still amazing. Saw some old rerun episodes. Love it. They have new cast members. It's just my favorite show. It straight up is reaction content at its best. Big fan.
Yeah, I remember you talking about Gogglebox a while ago.
I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I understand why it's been around for so long.
It is, although it's got, when you look up on the Google reviews, it's got a bunch of 5s, but a bunch of 1 stars.
Sure, I can understand that because it's literally reaction content.
Yeah.
It's straight up an hour-long program on TV of people reacting to things that were on TV. It is bottom-of-the-barrel content. It serves no real purpose. It is absolutely true trash, and I love it.
Some of these reviews are just, they're too British for me. You don't have to be a royalist to find treachery and lies despicable. Ignoring lies the way they dispose and evil people. Like, what? Hold on.
I think they probably did something recently that was like the coronation of the king or some shit, surely. And they reacted to it, and there was probably someone that was like, we don't need the monarchy. And then, well, that's
something happened.
You know that's always what happens in the UK.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, last night shows a total disregard for the government. Like, all right,
all right. That's because they have, a wide spectrum of people on there. However, two of the people on that show are literally, remember I was talking about the people at the train station who were like the sort of like goofy, quirky woman and the, hold on, let's see if we can find the cast of this show because cast of Gogglebox, because one of the couples literally is that. Yep, here they are. I love how there's an article asking what their jobs are because people want to know what these people do. But this is them. They look exactly like the couple I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
Now imagine this couple whose names are Giles and Mary. Imagine this couple in front of me in line. It wasn't them exactly, but it's very similar to that style where like the guy's like, I don't know, Mary. And then the wife's like,
yeah, no, I see it. That's a vibe right there.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to watch them react to stuff, which is just my favorite.
It's yeah. I mean, my thing is, I don't mind it sometimes, but I can't watch a lot of reaction. It has to be like specific reactions. Hold on, I found an unbelievable review right here. Marty McFly, 1985. All right, you ready for this one?
Marty McFly wrote this review.
Marty McFly, 1985, wrote this review a month ago. And gave
he went back in time to write this review. Yeah.
1 star. 2 people found this helpful. The show, this is all caps, by the way. Really, imagine.
Well, of course.
The show has quite literally gone to the dogs over the last few years. We had loads of dogs, Malones, who had dogs who ate they food when they was out of the room. Then Brighton too got a lot of small dogs. So by now, 2 families with dogs as they show ID. Then Ellie goes and gets loads of dogs who eat food of plates behind her back. Even Giles and Mary have introduced a dog to viewers recently. No family stands out more. Or no family stands out anymore. Every family copying other families' family ID, i.e. dogs.
What? So the issue Marty McFly has is dogs being on camera?
I guess so.
And that there's too many dogs?
I guess he's upset there's too many dogs. Everybody on the show apparently has a dog. And he's saying that they forced them all to get a dog or something. Or that they're copying each other.
I guess, dude. I guess.
Just imagine getting so mad that people have dogs that you like go on to Google in all caps and you're like, I need to write this. Like this, I need to vent my frustrations. You know?
I honestly don't remember that many dogs, but I guess it must have stood out that there was a lot of dogs.
I guess so. Maybe recently they've really gotten a lot more dogs or something.
I feel like I think this guy's just overreacting.
There's no way anyone would overreact on the internet.
On the internet, you're right. What a fool
There's
I am.
no way.
Yeah,
no way.
You're right. You're right.
Was that your journey? Do you have any other crazy airport things?
I mean, on the way back, just what a complete mess air travel is right now. Just a lot of people with zero awareness as usual, but nothing worth talking about. Just like the inability for people to move out of the way, or people just like walking in front of you and then stopping, and you're like, wait,
Yep.
you know, but that's normal. That shit,
Yeah.
that's not new.
That's standard.
Yeah.
Just your standard stuff.
So what'd you do when I was gone? What were you up to?
Honestly, not too much. Did my normal stuff. But I did do one thing that stands out,
Go on.
and that was for the first time this year, we went to the Renn Faire.
Oh my God. Details, please.
So we went, it was a week ago. We went last week on Sunday, and we went in, you know, it was the Renn Faire, as you probably remember it. You know, everybody was walking around dressed up. Some people were dressed up. Went and got our turkey leg, artichoke, ate some of that, got some beer, had some of that, walked around, and then the mud show was happening. And so we saw a little bit, and I was like, I got to see the full mud show. I can't just see part of it. So we were like, all right, we'll come back to the later mud show. Then walked around. There was one area. It's like a big open area where I think they normally do something. And somebody was recording like these 10 girls doing a TikTok thing. They weren't even being like, ye olden days all the day. Like they were singing like medieval songs.
Were they doing like a dance? What were they?
Well, they were dancing, but they were singing like pop music. They were singing like a Taylor Swift song. Then they sang like some other pop song, but they were just doing that at the Renn Faire. I was like, what? Why aren't they singing like ye olden songs or something, you know?
I mean, you're correct. Were they singing Taylor Swift like a ye old song?
That would have made it better, but no, they weren't. That was the problem.
Yeah, I don't
like
get it.
if they would have had like the bard core or whatever it is, where they got like a guy being like ding ding ding, he's playing his like little lute or whatever it is, you know, those little guitar things like ding 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 ding, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it. But what were they doing instead? Were there people dancing around them dressed as Renn Faire? Like, I don't get what was happening.
They were just like filming TikToks. That was
right.
it.
But they were singing these songs at the Renn Faire. What was the gimmick? What was the point? I guess I don't understand the point.
I didn't understand the point either. I guess but the whole point was like they're doing these songs at the Renn Faire. That's it. Like I couldn't. There's no theme. They could have been doing this anywhere, and it would have been normal. Maybe they were like, it's a built-in audience over here. I couldn't think of anything. But I
just don't get it. I just don't get it.
And then everyone would like look over, like, yeah, I mean, good for them, but why is this here? It was just weird. That's one of the things I hate about like the TikTok social media just everything culture is like everybody's just trying to like get the next big like viral viewed thing. Like it's not even just TikTok. It's just like a YouTube video. It's a live streamers walking around being like, "Oh, you're right." Like it's just people being annoying or just doing shit out in public is weird. You know, I don't like it.
I still don't understand. I still don't get it. I'm trying to figure out why they couldn't do that anywhere.
They could. I think it was just because it's like a built-in audience at the Renn Faire. Like you're just, people are gonna look over, right? Like,
yeah, I
I
get it, but I don't get like you could do that in a mall and have the same reaction.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, they've probably already done it at the mall.
So it was this is like video 100, and they're like, we're running out of ideas.
Yeah,
to the Renn Faire, ladies. Yeah,
that's what I think. If I had to bet money, that's where my money'd go to. I think they just do this everywhere.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, then people look over like, okay, cool. So that happened, and I was like, whatever, I need more alcohol. So I went and we got more alcohol. And then there's like the guy yelling at people at the whole, like, you throw tomatoes at him as he insults you. There's this guy, he was like this bald guy, and he was just like, your head looks like a Lego block head. And then he was like, yada yada. But he couldn't hit him with the tomatoes.
Who said what to who there?
So there's a thing where you throw tomatoes at a guy who's
and then he yells at you.
Yeah, and he yells at you. So if you hit him, you're like, haha, take that. But otherwise, he just insults everybody that goes up to throw the tomatoes. So you essentially pay to get insulted, but with the
and then you can throw a tomato at a
man.
man. All right, yeah. Now, has he ever been hurt to the point where they have to pull him off stage?
I have not seen that. I've seen him get hit a few times.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, but like I haven't actually seen him get like hit so hard that he's like, oh god. Like it was just like a light, like he got hit with a couple tomatoes once. Like they're not bringing in like a Major League Baseball pitcher's like, I got my fastball ready, just like chucks it, hits him right.
But I
in
mean,
the
like
eye.
sometimes what the fruit is hard. Like who put a rock in that tomato? You know what I mean?
That's true. Most people can't even hit him though. Like it's a long distance. And they had like the jousting, but I'm always like, I don't really care that much about jousting. I can go to medieval times, see that.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was just like looking at all little stores. They got like all little crazy medieval stuff.
Was old glass blowing man there?
I didn't see glass blowing man.
Oh,
so
glass blowing
that's
man.
unfortunate.
I miss you. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, he might be back at some point. Maybe he was just off that day.
Well, he had to finish writing Game of Thrones, so.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. The Song of Ice and Fire ain't gonna write itself.
Let's see. And then we were walking around. We saw, we got some coffee. I spilled on myself. That was fun. Well, I didn't like spill it all over. I just spilled it on my hand. I was like, and it was hot. I thought I'd get like a burn, but I didn't.
That story almost was interesting. I want to let you know that.
That's good. I avoided being entertained. So let's see. I got coffee, got some thing. There was I was like looking at some of the places, but not bought. Like there's the place with all the honey. They got like a bunch of different honeys you can buy. And one time we bought some honey, and I still have like not eaten it. But honey lasts like forever, so it's still good. Still got it, right?
Yeah, you just went to go look at the honey that you have at home just to check and see if it was still honey. And like you just like looking at honey.
We might just add more honeys to the honeys we don't use at home. You know,
I mean, you could do that.
But we didn't, and I don't want to. But it's fun to just look at the store. And then got a pickle. That was great.
What kind of pickle?
One of those garlic pickle.
Should have got spicy pickle.
Oh yeah, should have got. Well, you know, we'll go
the one from the tub in the back. I like that I still think about that back tub pickle. I think it was delicious. When I said spicy pickle, she looked at me like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." She went to the white tub in the back and pulled that sucker out, and I was like, "Yeah."
That's the ones they keep for people like you.
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, that spicy pickle."
It's like steam coming out of it.
Hell yes.
And then got some garlic mushrooms. Always love the mushrooms.
Yep.
Got some corn.
Really, you're just doing everything that we did when I was there, just again.
Yeah, that's what I love.
You don't switch it up. You don't do anything like, oh, I'll try this time, or I'll do this. You just same thing. Huh?
We might have, but it was things that are probably just forgettable, so I don't even remember. Maybe.
But you do remember the exact same thing that you've done before.
Yeah, I mainly remember the same things. Those I become nostalgic for those things, and I repeat those things. And I'm like, this is fun. And then maybe you try to mix it up, but maybe they just don't stick. But I'm sure something will stick there. Maybe go like shoot a bow and arrow they got, and like that'll be fun. Try that out. You saw the Mud Show, and so top tier stuff. They always mix it up a little bit. It changes, but it doesn't like fully change. They have the same overarching premise of the Mud Show, but they change up little things here and there.
What changed? What was a big change that you noticed?
They switched up their begging game. So normally they'll just be like, it'd be great. This person gave 20, but what if we got another 20? Essentially like watching a Twitch live stream.
Sure.
And so my favorite was this one dude, he was loving the Mud Show. He was this like buff dude, bunch of tattoos. He straight up was like, he couldn't stop laughing. He was clapping. He was like, yes, like he was going crazy. Yes. And he gave them I think it was either 50 or 100. Like straight, he gave them 50 or $100. And when they got it, they were like, oh my God, sir, look at this. We have never gotten a $50 or $100 bill. And he's like, but you know what else we haven't got? Two $50 or $100 bills.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah. And so they did that. They did some, Billy Von Billy went into the audience and threw his shirt at somebody. Normally he throws it into the audience from the mud. This time he like went into the audience and like made a line through the seats in the mud and then threw his shirt. So, a little bit of...
Right, they got to switch it up. Yeah, I mean, you can't get stale.
Yeah, he switched it up a little bit, so that was nice. And so, overall, it was like 90% the same, but 10% those little differences. And then that guy really just loving the Mud Show. Then there was like a couple people that did not care about the Mud Show whatsoever.
Whoa, what does that mean?
There's like one guy just sitting in the back who you could tell he was like, I do not like this. I got to get out of here. And then there's these two girls that were just like, yeah. Like as soon as they're like, and now we start begging for money, they were like, okay. And they just like both walked away. Like you can tell people truly did not appreciate the Mud Show for what it is, right? Art.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's art. But art is subjective, and if they don't get it, that's fine. They don't need to get it.
Yeah, that's fine. And then after the Mud Show, we walked out. I took a TikTok. I made a TikTok, but I didn't make a TikTok of me singing songs. I took a TikTok of Bubble Man.
Who is Bubble Man?
Now, if you haven't been on my TikTok,
I have not seen Bubble Man.
You
Out of all the weird
Bubble
TikToks you send me, you don't send me Bubble Man?
Well, I mean, it was on my actual feed thing. Here you go. This is Bubble Man. Enjoy.
What the shit? It's definitely Bubble Man. I mean, it's Bubbles, all right. Besides stoners walking around him going, yeah, woo, and trying to grab the bubbles.
Right.
All right, never mind. They're little kids. Okay, I was like, what is the point of this? What is this guy doing?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably mainly for the kids and the stoners.
Right. Definitely for the stoners.
100%. But I mean, yeah, they're doing like big net bubbles. It's while you're leaving, and they're just like, hey, see you later. And they're just, making bubbles as you leave. Bubble Man.
Bubble Man. All right, Bubble Man.
There's also Bubble Woman up there. They're a tag team duo.
They are exactly that. Yes.
And then we went home. And I was like, man, I cannot wait to come back to the Renn Faire probably in a couple of weeks with somebody else.
You're a man of habits, and I like it, frankly.
Yeah. I enjoy routine. Habitual routines, my favorite.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of my week. Otherwise, I just did my standard, play some Warhammer, build paint Warhammer, make a new pointless top 10, stream on Twitch, go to the gym, etc.
Yep, a Crendor week for Crendor.
Yep. Habitual routines.
Retirement, you mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you know what else should be your routine? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Honey. Today's episode is brought to you by PayPal Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. But did you know it only takes a few seconds to get it? I know most of the time you got to go through a whole hassle for a thing. But right now you could easily get Honey on your laptop, on your iPhone, wherever, in mere seconds. It is as quick to get as it is quick to help you save money. The best part is just when you go to checkout, literally anywhere, Honey will just appear, and all you have to do is click apply coupons and wait a few seconds. It's going to search the internet, scour for the best coupon code for you, and if it finds a working one, the price will drop, and you can just watch it. The last time we did it is I bought this new microphone boom mic stand that has the cord built into it. Big fan of that, so I don't have to cord manage, and it is now set up, and I'm using it, talking in it right now, and that was my last purchase. Went on one of my favorite stores where they have all this sort of audio gear and equipment, bought it there. I didn't even remotely think Honey would pick up on this, and at checkout popped up and was like, yo, you want to save $12? And I was like, yes, I do. And so now I have it. It's great. You can get it with pretty much anything. We're talking not just tech gadgets and weird computer accessories that I have, but also clothes and food and pretty much anything you can think of online. It is available in a lot of places. Honey doesn't just work on your desktop either. Like I said, it works on your iPhone too now. Just activate it on Safari and your phone will do the rest. You save as you go. Get Honey. It just takes a few seconds. It's not even that complicated. I cannot stress this enough. By getting it, you'll save a bunch of money and, you'll support the show, and that's pretty cool. So get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/Cox. That's joinhoney.com/Cox. All right, Crendor, let's go to chapter 7. Crendor, how's that traffic out there?
Oh man, traffic out there is pretty insane, especially at the airports where everybody doesn't know what they're doing. Much like you said, those airports are crazy. Everyone's blocking the lines. They're talking in the lines. They're walking in the lines. You're not supposed to walk a line. You're supposed to stand in it. What are they doing? Also, there's some cars down there. You got boats, trains. Trains are going crazy. They're starting to fight the boats. You don't want to see that. There could be the great train boat war of the repeat 1973 AC/DC. Back to you.
Oh my God, speaking of airport, two things real quick. My parents, when they went to go pick me up at the airport, because they're cool like that. Whenever I fly into town, they always want to pick me up, and I'm like, all right, cool. So they came to pick me up, and as I'm putting my luggage in the back of their car, some dude walks out in front of the car like he's looking for his ride, but now we're stuck waiting for this guy to move. And it's stuff like that I'm like, wait, what are you doing? You can see down the road. Why'd you have to walk out like almost into the street in front of our car so we can't leave so you can like check and see if your ride's there yet? Stupid stuff like that. Drives me absolutely crazy. And then second thing, my parents roasted the shit out of me. And honestly, I'm going to say mean-spirited. You know what? I'm going to call my parents out on this. Ruthless. We're coming back. My mom's complaining about how her dog, her little tiny rat dog, every time they take it to the vet, it like starts freaking out, right? It starts like getting jittery and shaking.
Right.
And it's because it's just like scared, but it's also like a dog that is all twigs and paper mache. I was like, see, this is why I can't have pets, let alone kids, because I couldn't take care of them because of stuff like this. And my mom and dad just begin to roast me. My mom was like, yeah, well, you have to have a long-term girlfriend to have a kid. And my dad's like, yeah, so don't even worry about it. And they just start roasting me about not having children and like not being in a long-lasting relationship. And I'm like, what the shit? So by the time we got to my apartment, I was like, my parents like, love you, see you later. And I was like, yeah, whatever, all right, bye. I couldn't get out of that car fast enough.
If I was your dog, I wouldn't even want to be your dog.
I was just so. I was like, then you guys adopt a child, and they're like, we can't. We're too old. We're 70. I'm like, but you can have a dog that spasms every time it goes to the vet. And my mom was like, it's different. I was like, then why do you want me to have a kid?
They want to have a grandkid, but they also don't want to like be around 90% of the time.
Yeah, they want
to
ruin my life is what I'm hearing. I'm like, I just left the country for 10 days. I traveled all over. If I had a pet, or let alone a child, I'd be worried the entire time. I was like, nah, I'm not living that life. And my parents took that opportunity to be like, like you're ever going to actually have a kid, you big loser. I was like, oh my God.
You have to actually meet somebody that loves you first.
That's really what it was like. I swear to God. They were like, well, you got to find someone who actually wants to be around you. It's like, cool. Thanks, guys.
Because we sure don't.
Yep. That was a lot of fun.
That sounds like fun. You just like get out. You just go up to the guy in the middle of the road. You're just like, hey, can I go with you?
Yeah. He probably wouldn't have asked that many questions or harassed me the entire time.
Probably not.
I would have rather had the awkward silence of being in a car with that random stranger than getting roasted.
That is. Hey, you never know. He might have been like, you know what? I know somebody just for you.
Yeah, that could have been true.
Yeah.
I'll never know.
Yep. You missed it.
But what we will know is weather.
Weather. We have a weather request for Vienna, Austria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says Vienna, Austria. We just got named best city in the world to live in. Some funny facts about Vienna. The croissant had its origin here. It has the oldest zoo in the world, and people living here are called Wieners, from the German name of Wien.
Sure they are.
And
here is the reason why we are called Wieners. Like, yep, okay. Yeah.
In Vienna, Austria, it is currently 76 degrees Fahrenheit. You can figure it out in Celsius.
Sure.
Thunderstorms possible after 10 a.m. Disruption due to extreme high temperatures. Wait, what? We'll see how high this is going to get. We got feels like 76, high of 89, low of 69. Nice. Humidity 65%, pressure 30 inches, visibility 9 miles. 5:11 a.m. sunrise, 8:49 p.m. sunset. Winds at 6 miles per hour, dew point 63, UV index 0 of 11, and moon phase of new moon. All right, here we are. The 10-day is currently 89 degrees, isolated thunderstorms. 89 on Tuesday, sunny. 88 p.m. thunderstorms. Thursday, 85, mostly sunny. Friday, 82 with thunderstorms. Saturday, 85 with scattered thunderstorms. And Sunday, 85 with partly cloudy. That sounds humid there. All that rain. It does.
Yo, being in London, it was, I don't know, maybe 70-something all week. But it was a humid. My pits were always sweating, dude. It was not fun. I was like, I am so thankful I live in LA where it's just like a dry heat because, oh my God, it was, every part of me felt sticky all the time.
Yeah, I don't like the humidity.
Not a fan.
It just weighs you down. But yeah, the dry heat, you're just kind of like, hey, it's like you're in a sauna or something.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
You know what? What also isn't bad, I had to look this up because when you said Wiener, I went and looked in Vienna for the first Wiener thing I saw, and I found Wiener Wurstelstand. It is a little tiny Wiener shop with 5 stars, it looks like, or at least 4-point-something stars, and it just is a Wiener stand, and they sell Wieners.
God, it is. Wiener Wurstelstand.
I love it. It looks exactly like the place I would go eat. There's like a place that sells like potato chips and wieners and beer. That's a winning combination.
They got the big like mural on the wall, and it like all leads up to the wiener stand. Do you see that?
I love that mural. It looks like a fake meat processing mural kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's very cute.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What is that? They got some beer. They got Augustine beer.
They got the like
Augustines.
weird sausage. It looks like almost like a baguette that you would get with a banh mi sandwich, but then
Yeah.
a wiener in it. Yeah, I'm here for this. And it isn't like a curryverse thing. It's straight up just like wiener meat, which is a weird thing to say, one piece
Yeah.
of very dense bread, and then mustard. And I'm not gonna lie, that with beard hits the beard. Yep, that with beard
That with beard?
and beer hits the spot.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
sounds
winning
fantastic.
combo. Yeah.
That sounds really good. Oh my god, I want that now.
Also, they have a beer here that Obertromer original, and I love this logo. If you're talking about beers with good logos, this is one. I would drink this just for the logo. It's just like a beer made, but very artsy fartsy. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I'd buy it for the logo.
1601. The
Yeah.
Obertrumer.
It's an Obertromer right there.
That's an Obertrumer. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Let's see, is this... There's actually a lot of places, wow.
Yeah, there's a ton of places. That's why I was like, well, I'm going to look up the wiener place.
Yeah. There's a
And this
place
is-
called...
This is barely a place. This is legit a shack.
Oh, yeah, this is a shack more than anything. I found this is a crazy place. This is called the Waldviertelhof.
I'm sorry, what?
Waldviertelhof.
It is
Look at
Waldviertelhof.
Yeah, and it's got 4.6 out of 5 stars with 1,800 reviews. But I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what they're serving. It's just like hamburger.
It looks like
raw meat?
tartare for sure.
Yeah, tartare.
And then various other meats in sauces.
These are very like European.
Oh, but like I live in the mountains European food.
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
they
it
got
looks very hearty.
Yeah, this is like you got your carrots, you got your potato, your meat.
Yeah, I'm looking at one dish here, and it's like some meat covered in a sauce with then just potatoes and giant ass carrots.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Some of these, it's like you
That
got your
schnitzel?
beets.
I can't tell what it is. It's something.
I think it's schnitzel's like deep fried. I think.
I'm looking at it.
think
It's
it's
deep
that.
fried on something. I don't know what the hell this
Oh,
is.
maybe it is. Oh,
I'd eat it though in a heartbeat.
Got more beer. You got your Waldviertelhof, Otakringer.
I bet Vienna knows its beers. I don't doubt
Oh, yeah,
that for a
100%.
minute. Yeah.
Everywhere you go, it's got crazy beer. Oh my god, look at this one. They got like the painting on the wall. In fact, I think this is sushi.
Yo, I dig it.
Yeah, this one's crazy.
It is in
Look at
fact
this.
sushi. Yeah. Look
Yeah.
at that. How worldly, Vienna.
They got like a full-on cherry blossom tree in there. That's sick.
This is
cool
cool.
drinks.
This is very cool.
Yeah, this is great. Vienna's got some places.
Yeah, I'm trying to find another like hole in the wall like that. No, there's a McDonald's. That's not.
Yeah, there you go.
We're on that weird pizza game. Straight up shrimp pizza right out the gate. Shrimp pizza.
Shrimp pizza? What?
It's. I'm gonna be real. It doesn't look appetizing. For some reason, shrimp on cheese, not what I would consider good eats.
That. I can taste that in my head.
I don't
And
like
I don't
it.
think it's bad, but I don't want it. You know? Like,
I'm gonna be real. This place has 4.6 stars, and a lot of it does not look great.
I mean, here's the thing, right? You get like pasta with like shrimp pasta, right?
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
shrimp
but that's
Alfredo and
different.
stuff.
That's different.
Why? What are you mixing up? Maybe it's the tomato
It's
sauce.
It's the melted cheese. It's just a weird vibe. Shrimp plus melted cheese is a weird vibe for me. I've never been a fan.
Huh.
Shrimp
Alright,
plus
I mean-
like Parmesan is different because it's not like a weird layer of melted cheese. Again, some places in Europe I don't understand their pizza game at all. Look at this. I don't get the pizza game.
Oh God,
I don't know what this is.
that is like peppered corn ham.
But if they didn't chop up the peppers, they just threw peppers on with there's no it's chaos. It's pure chaos.
It's chaotic. little too chaotic for me.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. It's a weird. That's a weird pizza choice, but like, okay.
Yeah, that's a
Like this one, like again, this is another pizza. Looks like a pepperoni and ham pizza. Maybe it looks like 3 types of ham, and then mushrooms, and then just onions randomly tossed about on this pizza.
yeah. Those are just like uncooked onions, pretty
This
much.
is that's insanity. That's insanity.
And they're not even spread out. They just straight up threw them on there. Yeah,
This
I
is
don't like
4.5 stars. I can't figure it out.
that. That's not. I don't like that.
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
what
not
the-
a fan.
Hold on. This is a McDonald's. Okay, this is one of the craziest McDonald's I've ever seen.
Oh, is it a beer McDonald's? Yeah. An
It's a
actual like
beer
real ass
McDonald's?
McDonald's where you can buy sorts of weird shit. Yeah.
I didn't even know this existed.
Oh
shit?
yeah. Everywhere else in the world, they got McDonald's as like a restaurant.
Huh.
Yeah. It's still probably the
Well-
same quality of like you're getting a Big Mac, but you know, you can also just order a beer.
That is pretty cool. Plus, like it looks like an actual cafe. Like you would have, if you showed me this, I would not guess it's McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's wild. Well, that's the weather.
All right, let's go to sports.
Sports. Welcome to Sports Desk. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. Burp. I can't do the whole thing. That's like copyright.
I was about to say very close to copyright.
All right, we've got sports. We got the NFL gonna be starting up in like almost 3-4 weeks now. Getting ready for football. We got basketball. The summer league's been going on, which doesn't really matter, but it's basketball. Then we got baseball. The main thing. We had the home run derby happen. We had the All-Star game, and then all the teams just started picking up for the second half of the season. You got your Tampa Bay Rays and Orioles in first, battling that out. Orioles a game back. You got the Twins in first. You got the Rangers in first, the Braves in first, the Brewers in first, and the Dodgers in first as everyone makes their playoff push for October or, end of September, technically speaking.
Yeah.
And let's see. What if I just type in sports? Is there any wacky sports news? Wimbledon, Carlos Alcaraz beats Novak Djokovic. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, good. All right. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Throw in some sports news. Or
Everything you said there, it made no sense to me.
oh yeah, it didn't make sense to me either. I know nothing.
It was
about
all words that just blended together. I was like, yeah.
I know it's tennis. That's all I got. And that's sports.
Okay, what is our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. Speaking of sports, we got a sports fact. Baseball umpires used to sit in rocking chairs.
Is that true? I mean, I guess it's true, but because it feels old timey.
Yeah.
Like I have no evidence that it's true, but it feels like, all right, up to bat with you. While they chew on like a straw or something.
Yeah, there's true tobacco then.
You're right. You're right.
It does seem to be a thing. And it says people have been playing baseball since mid-19th century. In the early days, umpires would officiate games while reclining in a rocking chair located 20 feet behind home plate. By 1878, the National League also declared that home teams must pay umpires $5 per game, which I don't know how much money that would be today.
I imagine it hasn't changed much.
Let's see, $1 in 1850 or 18. Oh, let's say 1880. Value of $1 from 1880 to 2003 is equivalent to about $30. So you get like $30 a game.
Looks like the average umpire salary at the moment is $300,000 a year.
All right, so they're doing a bit better.
Yeah, they're doing better than I thought.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Also, here's another fact. It's kind of a sports one, but more of like a generic one as well. A waffle iron inspired one of the first pairs of Nikes.
Oh, like the bottom pattern?
Yeah, so it says Bill Bowerman was a track and field coach in the 50s who didn't like how running shoes were made. He created the first Cortez shoe, but wanted a sneaker that was even lighter and could be worn on a variety of surfaces. During a waffle breakfast with his wife in 1970, he came up with the idea of using the waffle texture on the soles of running shoes. Waffle-soled shoes made their big debut in 1972 U.S. Olympic track and field trials in Eugene, Oregon.
I mean, I didn't know that, but it makes perfect sense now that I hear it.
It does. Now, every time you see Nike shoes at the bottom, just think of waffle irons.
Okay, what is our big news story of the day?
Underwater music show spotlights coral reef protection. Hundreds of divers and snorkelers. Listen.
I feel like there was a better way to do this, but honestly, kind of neat.
Yeah. Hundreds of divers and snorkelers listened to an underwater concert that advocated coral reef protection in the Florida Keys. Big Pine Key, Florida. Hundreds of divers and snorkelers listened to an underwater concert that advocated coral reef protection Saturday in the Florida Keys. The Lower Keys Underwater Music Festival, which also spotlighted eco-conscious diving, took place at Looe Key Reef, an area of the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary located about 6 miles south of Big Pine Key. Established in 1990, the sanctuary protects 3,800 square miles of waters, including the barrier reef that parallels the 125-mile-long island chain. Participants swam among Looe Key's colorful marine life and coral formations while listening to water-themed music broadcast by a local radio station. The music was piped undersea through waterproof speakers suspended beneath boats above the reef. The ocean playlist included the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, Jimmy Buffett's Fins, and the theme from The Little Mermaid. Tunes were interspersed with diver awareness messages about ways to minimize environmental impacts on the world's coral reefs, which rich biodiversity has led to them be called the rainforest of the sea. While the festival's primary purpose was to encourage reef preservation, it also afforded a singular underwater experience. Mermaids and other costume characters added unique visual elements to the auditory offering on part of the continental United States' only living coral barrier reef. The 4-hour musical event was staged by local radio station 104.1 FM and the Lower Keys Chamber of Commerce. Here is...
What would that have sounded like underwater, though? Do we have audio of that? The picture is hilarious. I love the mermaid playing the harp, but I'm curious, like...
They have a...
If you heard music underwater, it wouldn't sound like how does it work?
There you go. Listen to that.
Yeah, all right. So it sounds like music underwater. A lot of like bubble noise and barely hearing the music.
Yeah, it's just like and then like
Also, I thought it was gonna be a lot bigger than this. From the view in this video, it looks like about 6 people.
It is definitely about 6 people.
I thought it was gonna be way more. Like it was a big, like a bunch of people underwater. No, it's about 6 people.
Yeah,
okay, well,
it's like 6, 7 people, maybe above.
Now that
water.
I've heard it and seen it, I am not nearly as impressed as I was when this started.
Well, that's great for the preservation of the coral reef. It's like everybody we're trying to bring, awareness to the coral. It's like I'm not impressed.
I'm just saying, it's like it's all right. It's like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they got the one girl has a cool guitar. It's like a fish guitar. It's all green and blue.
Yeah, this one girl's playing the horn, which I feel like is a waste of oxygen underwater. But like all right.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
She's probably faking it, I would imagine.
There's no way. I don't believe that. And that person has is that a starfish guitar? Yeah, they got like a big starfish guitar. That's pretty crazy.
Which you wouldn't be able to hear underwater anyway.
Yeah,
so
no.
There would be no, like, when you pluck the strings, it wouldn't make, Wait,
hold on.
I get the message. I like the message. It's just a weird, they could have had an on-land concert at the ocean, like on the beach. Same effect, but you'd be able to hear it and enjoy.
That is very true. They could have done that. If you look at about 8 seconds into this video, she's like playing the guitar, but she's not playing it.
Right, no, she's just mimicking holding a guitar.
Yeah. And that's That I want to see what it actually sounds like. Does it just sound like absolutely nothing? Is it just like?
Well, it sounds like if you were to stick your head underwater and music was playing, it would sound like it was in the distance, right?
Yeah.
Like really far away. And then the bubble noises of everyone's oxygen masks all close to each other.
Yeah, I see the bubble noise. That's the main thing. At the end of this video, the newswoman's just like, interesting. She's just like, that's weird. That's the classic go-to for like, you don't know what to say or you think they're just like, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What a fun story.
Wow, interesting. Now somebody's gonna be like, at the 22 seconds, Crendor said interesting to Jesse. Does he not care about it?
Interesting.
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 It's not, I just found it interesting,
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. That's all.
Yeah. It's just like this podcast. It's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for listening or watching or enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
We've got some interesting socials. We've got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. That's where you can find all the podcasts on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell. You'll be notified when these go live, even though they usually go live at the same time every week on Sundays anyway. So, yeah. You can also find us on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're all over. Also, youtube.com/Cox and Crendor. That's where you find all the animations. You can also go to our main channel things, youtube.com/Jesse Cox, youtube.com/Crendor, Twitch TV Jesse Cox, Twitch TV Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor was taken. What's that Threads one? You know the Threads?
I do know it. I'm not on there, but I know it.
Yeah, I did it. I signed up because it's literally just Instagram but Twitter, and I was like, all right. And then I was like, cool. And then I'm like, I'm not gonna use this. Then we got our Cox clips, youtube.com/Cox clips, youtube.com/Cren clips, and TikTok Crendor, TikTok Jesse Cox TikTok, and yep.
Interesting. All right. That's it, but we'll be back. Don't worry. Because, as always,
Shake the rhino.
that's interesting.